Yo, what's good with y'all, man? It's your boy ChuckReactions. Now, for this video, we'll be react to nurse reveals King Von's last moment before his death at the hospital. This is my first time watching it, so let's get into it.
King Von's story seems to be never ending. Word on the street is that a nurse is finally revealing what really happened during his final moments, and it's not what anyone expected. Remember when Von's cousin Balo said this?
He was supposed to have 3 surgeries. He made it through 2. He hopped off the bed after the second surgery and supposedly started fighting the nurse.
Now it seems that same nurse
Oh, nah. If you're going through surgery and you start fighting the nurse, they're there to help you. Wow.
is breaking down exactly what went down inside that hospital room, and it's even crazier than anyone imagined. Let's get into it. The hospital drama, what really went down. While King Von was fighting for his life in an Atlanta hospital, conflicting stories about his condition started circulating among his fam and close associates. The first info that reached Balo through Kayla B and others made it sound like Von had only caught a single bullet and was stable, but the real situation was way more serious. Von had been hit multiple times, with deadly consequences. Balo remembers the moment he found out the devastating truth from Von's sister, Sky.
And I hear her in the kitchen crying, Sky. I heard her in the kitchen crying, saying that he gone and this and that. And I'm thinking like, what you mean he gone? Like, I just talked about it. He's like, what because you talking about? And she like, yeah, they saying he, like, she crying.
The confusion about Von's condition kept going, with Balo trying to make sense of the hopeful updates he'd gotten versus Sky's heartbreaking news.
Like, I can't even really get out her mouth. Like, she crying like that. So I'm thinking like, what is you talking about? Because we just talked to Vonnie. He just told us this. He told me and his baby mama Missy, you know, the mother of his daughter. Like, Missy crying.
Official reports from the medical team and the Atlanta Police Department confirmed that King Von died from multiple gunshot wounds he caught during the shootout. The autopsy, which hasn't been released to the public in full, reportedly documented just how serious his injuries were, including gunshot wounds to multiple parts.
I just want to say RP King Von. He was one of the GOATs. For him to be an upcoming artist from Chicago.
Body. According to details that have come out, Von was hit in his right hand, chest, and most critically, a fatal shot that entered through his back. The wounds were too severe, especially those to vital organs, causing him to bleed out internally despite doctors doing everything they could to save him. The official cause of death was listed as gunshot wounds, with no mention of any other factors like complications after surgery. However, in the years since Von passed, Balo has made some wild claims about what he believes went down during Von's final moments in the hospital. In multiple interviews, including one with 16 shot-in visuals, Balo alleged that Von actually survived 2 surgeries but died after waking up and trying to fight with hospital staff.
Yeah, so
Comment down below if you know who this guy is.
you know, I was in Chicago at the time, but you know, was telling me like, now his sister Kayla, she told me, she said that he had 3 surgeries, but he made it. He was supposed to have 3 surgeries. He made it through 2. He hopped off the bed after the second surgery and supposedly started fighting the nurse.
Balo continued with his shocking claim
And asked the nurse, where's his gun at? Something like that. And then he died because he went into shock.
This account, which suggests Von might have made it if he had just stayed calm, has been met with major skepticism. Medical professionals and fans on social media have called cap, pointing out the effects of anesthesia and how severe Von's injuries were, including spinal trauma that probably would have paralyzed him. Patients recovering from major surgery, especially with traumatic injuries like Von's, would typically be knocked out on meds and physically unable to do the things Balo described. Moreover, posts on social media platforms like X, formerly Twitter, have specifically shot down Balo's story, citing investigative reports that say Von was shocked 5 times and pronounced dead at 4:48 a.m. without ever regaining consciousness. These counterclaims line up better with what would be expected given how serious Von's wounds were. It's worth noting that Balo's story has changed over time. In earlier interviews, he mentioned getting information about Von's condition in pieces, often with contradictory details. At one point, he was told Von had been shot once, then later learned it was 8 times. Similarly, he initially got hopeful updates about Von's surgery before finding out he didn't make it. Balo himself admits the confusion and limited information he had right after the shooting.
So, like I said, Vonnie, he talking to me and Missy, telling us that Von good, he got shot 1 time, and this and that. Whole time he got shot 8 times, and I didn't even know. But I'm feeling better inside my head, inside my heart.
Another take on Von's final moments comes from someone claiming to be an operating room nurse who commented on a Reddit post. This user said Von died from blood loss due to damage to multiple organs, including the pancreas, spleen, and small bowel, potentially leading to sepsis. While this account lines up better with what you'd expect medically for gunshot trauma victims, it's still unverified and doesn't mention any fight with hospital staff. The controversy around Von's final moments has made even more complicated by other claims and theories that have popped up in the years since his death. Some fans have speculated about connections between Von's death and other rappers like MO3 and Young Dolph, pointing to patterns in the dates they died. Others have suggested that industry factors, like ownership of masters, might have played a role, though these theories don't have much solid evidence and are generally dismissed by credible sources. King Von's manager, Jameson Francois, known as 100K Track, who was there during the shooting and also got hit, hasn't publicly backed Balo's story about Von fighting nurses. In his interviews about that night, Track is focused on the shootout itself rather than Von's time in the hospital, suggesting he either wasn't there for those moments or doesn't agree with Balo's version of events. 100K Track's account ends with Von being taken to the hospital.
I don't know anything that's going on. It's, when I look at the footage, I'm seeing like, oh, the down.
Okay, so did you actually see Von get shot?
No.
While Balo's account of Von fighting nurses has gotten attention, especially in hip-hop news circles and on social media, it's just one perspective on Von's final moments, and one that contradicts official reports and what medical experts would expect. The night everything changed in the streets. When the clock struck 3:20 a.m. on November 6, 2020, nobody knew the hip-hop game was about to take a major L. The situation popped off when two squads of dudes, including King Von and his crew, started beefing that quickly escalated to gunplay. According to what 11 Alive News put out, the argument turned violent mad quick, with both sides letting off shots. Two off-duty Atlanta cops working security, plus another officer on patrol nearby, tried to break it up, which led to even more shots being fired. When the smoke cleared, 3 people, including 26-year-old King Von and 34-year-old Mark Blackley, had lost their lives. 3 others, including Von's manager, caught bullets but managed to pull through. What makes this whole situation extra complicated is all the different stories about what actually went down that night. The Atlanta PD stated that King Von most likely caught those fatal bullets during the initial shootout before police even got involved and was rushed to the hospital in somebody's whip rather than an ambulance. This detail, that Von was transported in someone's personal vehicle instead of official EMS, would later become mad important in understanding his final hours. One of Von's homies, who was on the scene that night, 100K Track, broke down what happened in the moments before shots rang out.
So from what I understand, King Von was in his car outside the club, and someone approached him, one of his guys approached him and said, hey, we see Quando Rondo, I guess, asleep in the car or somewhere around in the area.
Yeah, they seen so-and-so.
Yeah.
Track broke down exactly where he was when everything popped off.
You're
In the
actually
front.
right with him.
I'm in the front seat because at that time I drove we drove in a Hellcat to the club, and when we left, I jumped in the same car, but he jumped with the security in a bulletproof truck. So when I came to the car, we've been waiting outside for like almost 40 minutes.
According to security footage and witnesses,
Wow,
King
40.
Von stepped to Quando Rondo and started throwing hands immediately. The situation went from 0 to 100 when Timothy Lul Tim Leaks, one of Quando's mans, pulled up on the fade and started busting his gun. Von was one of several people who caught strays in the ensuing chaos. Track himself caught a bullet in the leg during the melee.
You get hit yourself
Yeah,
in the leg.
in the leg, yep.
Did you realize you were hit?
That was my first time ever getting shot. I never got shot before in my life.
Yeah.
So, and adrenaline was running. So when I got hit, it sent a straight sharp pain through my body. And I looked, but I didn't know where I was bleeding at.
King Von's cousin, Balo, wasn't on the scene when everything went down, but he got the call from Von's sister, Kayla B, with the bad news.
I think it's like 2 o'clock, 2:43 to be exact out here. I'm asleep, but I see a missed call at 2:43, but I called 10 minutes later when I woke up and see my phone from Kayla. And she like, I called her back. She ain't answered, and I called again, she answered. She like, I'm like, yeah, what's wrong? You called me? Because, you know, I'm automatically thinking it's something because it's like, you in Atlanta and you calling me at this time and I'm in Chicago.
When Balo finally got Kayla on the line, she hit him with the devastating news.
So she like, yeah, she sleeps. So she like, yeah, I was calling you because Von had got shot one time, but Louis got shot and got shot. They saying that Louis and But Vaughn still, he got shot one time.
This first report to Balo said Vaughn had only caught a single bullet, which would later turn out to be cap when compared with what the doctors actually found. Balo explained how the info he got switched up real quick.
So I found out that he good and he in the hospital and he good. And so next, she like, he got shot one time. Come to find out he got shot 8 times.
How serious Vaughn's injuries actually were became clearer as more info dropped. According to medical reports, he had multiple gunshot wounds, including hits to vital organs that caused him to bleed out internally. Despite getting rushed to the hospital still breathing, the trauma was just too severe. Conspiracy theories started flying almost immediately after Vaughn passed. Some people were saying he got set up, pointing to suspicious stuff like his security detail getting switched up or his transportation changing last minute. Balo has been especially loud about these suspicions, suggesting that Vaughn's regular bulletproof whip had been swapped for a regular one on the night everything went down.
I mean, I always say like that because it don't make sense to me, because certain don't be making sense to me, and I just like a lot of fans, it don't be making sense to them either. But even to me, I don't know.
He broke down his concerns about the vehicle swap even further.
It just seemed like on my heart, something don't seem genuine, like at all. Ain't no way he getting woke up. The bag winner getting woke up to fight, and he wanted to go back to his B&B, but he at another club.
Balo also questioned why Vaughn's security let him get into that situation in the first place.
Sleep in the car and somebody wake him up to fight, and as soon as he fight, his security guard let him walk. You get paid he get paid to protect. How the you let him walk over and fight? You ain't even supposed to let him fight.
In another interview, Philo straight up said Vaughn was backdoored or set up.
Because they was they trying to make it seem like Kayla set your cousin King Von up.
Yeah, I made it seem like that, and everybody running with what I said.
So you the first one who?
I'm the first one, original.
Okay, so can we clear that up while we right here on Whoops then? Because you can't just be throwing that on Kayla's name like that. Cause
hold on, wait. I'm not just not throwing it on nobody's name. If I don't got receipts or facts, I don't say.
But it's important to note that these claims about a setup haven't been confirmed by any official sources, and the legal case against Timothy Lul Tim Leaks, who was initially charged with Vaughn's murder, was dismissed in 2023 under Georgia's Stand Your Ground law. This legal outcome suggests there wasn't enough evidence to back up any conspiracy theory about someone plotting to take Vaughn out. As King Von was rushed to the hospital after catching all those slugs, his family, homies, and fans worldwide anxiously waited for updates on his condition. The initial word that reached his loved ones was hopeful, maybe misleadingly so. Balo recalled getting updates from Vaughn's cousin Vonnie.
Because I didn't find out till the next morning, and I'm calling him to see, what's going on. And he telling me everybody's saying he good, he was fine doing his surgery.
But the truth about what was going down inside the hospital, the desperate efforts to save Vaughn's life, would only come out later, along with a wild account from Balo that would raise serious questions about King Von's final moments. The aftermath, family beef, and ongoing street politics. The days after King Von passed were filled with grief, confusion, and the beginnings of family tension that would eventually spill onto social media for everyone to see. As Von's loved ones gathered in Atlanta to collect his belongings and hold each other down, the seeds of future beef were already being planted. Balo described arriving at Von's crib in Atlanta and finding a chaotic scene.
I made it there first. And by me making it first, I was out of it. I couldn't pay attention to everything.
He noted how Von's so-called homies were acting.
But when I first walked in, I had all his so-called friends, everybody saying, they trying to rush back to Chicago. Nobody consoled his mama upstairs, so that's the first thing I'm doing.
One of the biggest controversies to come out of this period involves Von's sister, Kayla B, and allegations that she took important items from Von's home.
I know Kayla B was a rapper.
Including hard drives containing his unreleased music. Balo has been especially vocal about these claims.
She took the hard drive, and I'm gonna tell you when she took it and how she took it. The second day after Von, Von died, then the second day we flew out there.
Balo detailed a scene where he caught Kayla in Von's closet.
So Kayla is in his walk-in. Me and my brother that died, and we had just got there. We had a late flight. We had just got there, so I go in the house, I go upstairs, and Kayla's in Von's walk-in closet. So she just sitting there, she's sitting there crying.
According to Balo, Kayla took personal items of Von's, including drip and a Louis Vuitton suitcase.
Even I seen her, she was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this suitcase because my friend bought it. And I'm gonna take a couple items to remember my brother as. She around him every day, so I'm not thinking none of it. So she took some, I think 2 pair of mirrors, a jacket and some like a shirt or something. And she took the Louis suitcase.
More controversially, Balo claims he witnessed Kayla retrieving hard drives containing Von's music while on the phone with someone.
She on the phone with somebody, and they telling her to look under this cap sheet. So I just heard her going in Von bathroom, and she looking under like I just hear cabinet slamming and this and that. But somebody I heard her on the phone with somebody.
Balo continued.
Somebody asking like, telling her like go under this cabinet for the hard drive. The hard drive's under this cabinet, this and that. I'm still not thinking of that because I wouldn't even think like I wouldn't even think. No, it was Vonnie. At the end of the day, I found that was Vonnie. Yeah.
In Balo's view, the main issue wasn't that Kayla took the hard drives, but that she didn't consult Von's mother first.
So I'm still not thinking none of it. I'm thinking like, okay, she just getting his music to protect me. But my thing and what came to my attention and everybody else attention, like why she didn't Von mama in the room, like under the cover, like in Von bed. Why you didn't say, hey, I got Vonnie on the phone. I got Vonnie on the phone. He telling me to get, cause you know she don't know about music. And
Balo concluded.
so she like, me personally, I think she should have went in there and told his mama first, like what was going on. Like, I got Vonnie on the phone. He want me to get the flash drives, you know, because we gonna give them to the producer so we can still make sure his music. You know, she knowing her, she would have said, "Oh, go ahead and this and that." But you took that and stuffed it in a suitcase with all the clothes, and then you just left.
These alleged actions by Kayla B have been a major source of ongoing family beef. Balo has also claimed that Kayla eventually gave the hard drives to Lil Durk, Von's mentor and the head of Only the Family.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah. Okay, so she gave it to Lil Durk with this hard drive of music, okay?
The OTF record label, though this claim remains unverified. Another controversial figure in the aftermath of Von's death is a man named Vonnie, sometimes called OTF Vonnie, who Balo describes as Von's father's best friend's son. According to Balo, Vonnie had major access to Von's finances and property.
So he got same access to that Von had. He got the same access.
He's the authorized user on Lil Durk cards too.
Balo claims that Von owned significant assets that have since disappeared.
My brother that died, he had his CDLs. He was supposed to be driving for. Von had a truck company coming. He had five. So far, he had 5 18-wheelers. My brother was supposed to be driving for him.
He continued listing Von's assets.
He had a property on 70th in some state. I think it's state, if I'm not mistaken. He had a building. He was opening a store because my grandma died. He was opening a store dedicated to her, like a little restaurant. He had all this. He had his own little black truck. He had his car he got for his birthday.
According to Balo, these assets haven't been made available to Von's family.
We ain't got of it. His mama ain't got of it. You know why?
Why?
Vonnie was an authorized user on everything.
These claims about missing assets and financial disputes, while compelling, remain difficult to verify independently. Without access to Von's financial records or official documentation of his estate, it's challenging to determine exactly what he owned when he died. The family tension has extended beyond issues of assets to include public beef, particularly between Balo and Kayla B. Balo broke down how their relationship went south after Von's death, starting around Thanksgiving.
You done made a TikTok for this, Balo? Like, let's break this down.
I don't think I did.
Oh, it hit different. So, what's the backstory? Like, what's going on with
Why
you?
we got into it?
Yeah,
We got into it in 2021. The 2021, Lil Day Von birthday and Von birthday got the same birthday. We got into it because she know I was in, she know I ain't with half of them that she invited to Lil Day Von birthday party.
Balo also described a falling out with Kayla B that began during the Thanksgiving after Von's death.
So, whole time, all this beef started because of her best friend right now, Kima. You told her you didn't want her over there. You told Tasha you didn't want Kayla over your house for Thanksgiving, this and that. So Kayla got mad. She went on the internet the next day, said Vonnie with his mama.
He continued.
Vonnie with none of his people. He ain't want none of us around, this and that. I text her phone, and I said,
Was that true, though?
What?
When Kayla said that?
Hell no. He ain't with his mama.
So why Kayla whoop like that? Where'd she get that from?
I promise you I don't know why she whooped like that. And I promise you I don't know why she did that. But he with everybody.
These personal beefs have occasionally spilled onto social media, where both Balo and Kayla B have made statements about each other and about Von's legacy. The public nature of these disputes has sometimes overshadowed conversations about Von's musical contributions and the broader circumstances of his death. Beyond family disputes,
If King Von did best for nobody, I would think he would like do the things that he was doing. Like I think it was a video of him coming home with like 100,000, and I think he gave Some people, you know, 5, like stuff like that. But if he didn't mess with nobody, he would have done that.
There are ongoing legal matters related to Von's death. Timothy Lul Tim Leaks, initially charged with felony murder in connection with Von's shooting, had those charges dismissed in August 2023 under Georgia's Stand Your Ground law. This legal outcome has been controversial among Von's supporters and has contributed to ongoing discussions about what really went down the night he died. More recently, a wrongful death lawsuit was filed in October 2024 by the family of another rapper, FBG Duck, naming King Von's estate, Lil Durk, and OTF Records, alleging negligence and misconduct. This litigation suggests that the legal fallout from Von's life and death continues to unfold. Additionally, on October 24, 2024, 5 of King Von's associates were charged in a murder-for-hire plot targeting Quando Rondo in Los Angeles in August 2022, allegedly as get-back for King Von's death. Lil Durk was also arrested on related charges, accused of orchestrating the hit on a rival rapper. These developments show how the consequences of Von's death continue to shake up the hip-hop community and the streets. Amid all the drama and beef, King Von's family members, including Balo, have tried to keep his legacy alive in various ways. Balo mentioned upcoming projects to honor Von's memory during an interview.
So, you know, before we close out, is there anything else you want to let the people know? Anything you want to get off your chest, promote, message for the youth?
I just need y'all to be on the lookout for the new Cruel Culture coming in April. We revamping. Last year I was slipping. This year I'm pimping. Nah, but we coming back.
He continued by mentioning a documentary about Von in the works.
I got a hair care line coming out as well. It's called Black by Balo. I got a little show coming out the end of this month. We got a documentary coming out for Von sometime this year. I can't say the date.
Balo also revealed that another Von album was coming soon.
And he also got another album coming out this year. We're gonna shout out my cousin. She finna be on Baddies number 1307.
These efforts to keep Von's artistic legacy alive exist alongside the more controversial aspects of the aftermath of his death. Since he passed, Von's music has continued to drop posthumously, with his debut album, Welcome to O Block, doing crazy numbers, despite being released just a week before his death. Von's cousin also shared a little-known fact about Von's education that might surprise some fans.
Random question, but did Von actually go to college?
Yes. He went to South Suburban College. What's that, South Holland? South Holland.
Yep.
Okay.
I never went to college. He went to college.
That's dope.
I had to realize that the other day. I'm like, I'm thinking like, damn. Well, out of everybody and all these people saying about Von, he the only one went to college.
Wow.
Him and his mama.
This humanizing detail offers a different side of Von, showing dimensions of his life beyond his public image as a drill rapper with street ties. King Von's legacy is bigger than the drama surrounding his death. At just 26 years old.
Well, appreciate y'all watching this video. Like I said, RP to King Von. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you do like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out.